Hey, it's the Card Father here, back in the groove of things on Monday. And I'm doing work, I'm grinding away in the office, and I hear this. My name's Foul Ball Paul as he's talking to the GOAT, the old man, my dad, Steve, out there. And I'm like, oh my God, I could hear it. And I'm like, Foul Ball Paul is at Burbank Sports Cards. This is exciting. Stop what I'm doing. I need to talk to this young man. And I'm super amped to have you here. So what's going on?
I decided to come to Burbank, California today to Burbank Sports Cards to meet up with Rob Barris, the Card Father.
Well, I'm super stoked that you did. You brought mom, you brought dad, and I'm like dropping everything. I want to show you what I do. You're very, very famous in the sports card community. Let's just face it. Jack of all trades blew up. It was massive. It was actually the #1 streaming show on Netflix, ahead of Avengers: Age of Ultron for 6 days. And to this day, it's really the only sports card related content to stream on a major streaming network. So super excited. So you are obviously quite the celebrity. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How old are you? When you started collecting
I'm
cards?
36 years old. I was born with a learning disability and disorder. I'm missing gene 16 from my head. 16, 17, 18 is how you take in information and process it. And there's no pills or patches or medications to cure it at all. And I've been collecting for 26 years.
Wow. So it's obvious that you have a passion for this. So you started when you were about 10 years old.
I was about 10 years old when I started collecting baseball cards.
And you just do baseball, correct?
Just baseball.
I think baseball is enough because I don't think your parents could build a big enough house if you did the other sports as well. You are known for having a lot of cards. He is the Guinness Book World Record holder for most cards in a private collection. Talk to me. How did that happen? And more importantly, how many cards do you have?
I have over 3.5 million baseball cards and counting, owned by a person, not a business, and over 100,000 signed baseball cards and counting, owned by a person, not a business.
Absolutely crazy. So to get all these autographs, obviously, is like your life's work. I mean, this is something that, wow, I can't imagine walking up to and you said different?
Yeah, different.
100,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you've met 100,000 baseball players. Now, are they major leaguers?
Some are major, minor, independent, and some are used to be college players that really never became anybody.
I'm mind blown, actually. I mean, and I'm sure you guys are too. The dedication to the hobby. Obviously, your parents play a huge role in this, as I know they like to travel the country with you. They have the same passion.
They take me to all the different minor league, major league, and independent league baseball stadiums around the United States of America.
Dude, so you hit Burbank, but you're driving. Where are you from?
I'm from Idaho Falls, Idaho, the home of the Idaho Falls Chuckers Independent League Baseball Team in the Pioneer League. Mm-hmm. To all the fans out there, if you want to come watch some great independent league baseball, come to Idaho Falls, Idaho.
Man, I'm like, okay, so this is something that you didn't fly here. You drove here.
Yep.
You didn't drive here just to visit me. You drove to visit.
Started out in Reno, Nevada at the Reno Aces Baseball Stadium. Caught a game there. Then went down to the University of Nevada Reno Men's College Baseball Team where I was personally invited to attend a game by the coaching staff. And then I went to Sacramento to the Rivercats AAA game. And then I went to Fresno to the Fresno Grizzlies AAA game. And now I'm here at Burbank Sports Cards.
Oh my God. So I was just in Dallas for the Dallas Card Show, right? Mm-hmm. And place has over 700 booths. Some people have done it for decades. Some have been in it for 6 months, 2 years, whatever it happens to be. And I've engaged with a lot of people over the years. I've traveled the country doing seminars. I'm kind of known in the business. I've talked to a lot of people. But dude, you are unique. Because your passion over the last 26 years and your family's, the way that they've helped in this is, I've never heard a story quite like this. What are your goals? And more importantly, how are you organized? I mean...
all my baseball cards are in 3,500 count boxes in ABC order by last name. And they're on metal shelving, which is from Costco.
Nice plug for Costco there. So... You walk in here, and I know that you've known of Burbank for a while now, and I kind of showed you the showroom a little bit, but I knew what I had to show you. I had to show you the warehouse because We got two of the largest collections,
Yeah.
inventories, whatever you want to call it.
Your collection is totally insane.
I told you before, we've been messaging back and forth, and I'm like, he said he was coming out this way. I was super pumped about it. I'm just like, I wanted to kind of share different things with you that we do. I wanted to know how you accumulated such a massive collection. And more importantly, that organizational level. Trust me, I know about organization. People tell me I got 1,000,000 cards, and I'm like, A, you probably don't, and B, who cares? Is it organized? Can you enjoy it? It's just 1,000,000 cards otherwise. There's a passion that goes into it. So how did you figure out how to organize it? Because some people do it by year, some people do it by sport.
I just figured that it was easier to put it by last name and keep it in alphabetical order and put it in 3,500 count boxes in my garage.
Now, from what I understand, there's like a 3-car garage that your mom is like, there's no way we could put a car into that.
And my downstairs apartment as well.
So those are both full. So tell me the project that you and your dad are working
My
on.
parents are actually going to be building a 40 by 40 shed in the backyard for my 3.5 million baseball cards and counting.
That is, Pops. The support of your son obviously is just, I work with my dad. So I kind of get it, and I also work with my son. So this is like a family thing.
And they also support my bat boying career. I've been bat boying for the last 22 years around the United States of America. I go from league to league, team to team, and see who wants to hire me. And
dude, your story is unique. It's awesome. It's inspiring to me because I've made my life's work out of this, and I've been doing this as a business since I was 12 and as a hobby since like 74. That's a long time ago, kids. And I come across a lot of people, and there's a grind every day to this. It's not something that is just like a passive thing that you do.
It's a daily grind. You got to work at it. You got to keep working at it, and don't stop. If anybody tells you that you can't amount to anything, become anybody, do anything with your life, don't listen to those people. Get those people out of your life and away from those negative influences.
You've obviously had a handicap in making all of this happen, and you're inspirational. It's the craziest story I've heard in the business, and I'm just honored to know you. And
it's an honor to know you, Rob.
Well, it's a mutual admiration society then that we have going on here. And now, Jack of All Trades was something that was a movie that was put together, kind of a documentary, kind of a movie, kind of halfway through. They're like, and maybe it's a family thing, and it was just this kind of thing that was put together. And to this day, it's still the only thing that's out there. Granted, there's a lot of content coming. Everything's in post-production. But to this day, still, you've probably had the biggest starring role in anything that was mainstream in the hobby from the collector standpoint. And you should be proud of that.
And it's still on TV for going on 4 years straight.
How can you find it right now?
It's on iTunes, Amazon Video Demand, Free on DB, Prime Video, Kodi, Tubi, and on the Super Channel up in Canada in the French version, if you live up in Canada.
This guy, I'm like, now you know why I'm so excited that this guy came in, because I get a lot of people through, and they've been in the industry for X amount of years, but I guarantee that I believe I've grinded this industry harder than anybody truly understands. But when I hear Paul's story and the extent of the way he does things, I do things just in this building. You do things all over the country.
Yep, I do things all over the country.
Now, you've met a ton of athletes, I'm guessing, right?
Tons of baseball players, tons of professional wrestlers in my day.
So tell me this. Obviously, this is the question a lot of people are asking. Who is your favorite? Who is the person that you really wanted to meet? You met them, and they were as cool in person as you hoped they would be.
Who I really wanted to meet was Tim Salmon of the Anaheim Angels, and I actually got to meet him because of Josh Hamilton at Angel Stadium. He took me on the field for 5 hours, and I get to meet Vladimir Guerrero, Tim Salmon, Chuck Finley, Darren Arson, all the great names of the Angels organization.
I'm just floored. I'm sure you've got like hundreds of stories. Just to meet that many athletes is staggering. And the coolest part is you've met a lot of guys that were in single A, independent league, that didn't make it all the way through, but they're still an important part of your collection. So everything's alphabetical across everything. MLB, independent, AAA.
AAA.
Jeez. So now, is there a card that you're looking for that you don't have?
A Danny O'Connell 1950s baseball card, because I'm being actually interviewed by a guy who writes books about athletes and celebrities out in Phoenix, Arizona, who I'm going to go do that interview for.
Well, I guarantee you'll walk out of here with at least one. So I'm pretty sure somewhere I own that card. So we'll definitely look into that for you. Your parents play an amazing role in your life, and they support you.
Yep.
Just like my parents have supported me for decades doing something that wasn't mainstream. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I don't have any marketable skills outside of
the card
this.
collecting industry, it died back in the 90s, and when it took that major dump in the ground and, went into its grave, I basically brought it back from its death. And
well, you never gave up on it. And a lot of people come and go in this business. Things get tough. The tough, either the tough get going or the tough just go.
Yeah.
You've been doing this through recession, through everything, and I don't think your passion has waned at any point.
Even when the card market, the bubble bursted, I just kept going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many more questions I have, but I'm pretty sure I could talk to you the whole afternoon. And I'm a little busy today simply because I just got back from Dallas. We just opened my first day back.
I'll actually be at the June 25th card show out in Denver, Colorado.
Oh my God, so we need to talk about that because I just got off the phone with the guy that runs it. Mm-hmm. Do you know Mike Fruitman at all?
No, I don't.
He has a store on Mike's Stadium Sports in, I believe, Aurora, Colorado. Mm-hmm. He's been doing this as long as you have, and he's doing that show, and you got to make sure that you go up to him and let him know that the Card Father, you've met him, and we've done things before. So Mike's, again, another one of those guys in the business that's grinded every day.
And today I'll be going to Lake Elsinore, to the Storm Single A Stadium, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, and the Inland Empire 66ers.
Wait a second, back up. Today?
Mm-hmm.
Just today?
Just today.
How many autographs are you hoping to get from those three stadiums?
I'm actually going to go pick up team sets from those stadiums because the teams are off today and they don't play again until tomorrow.
I mean, we were talking about this also. Tops, Upper Deck, Fleer cards, easy to find for the most part. You take a deeper dive into team sets of regional sports that go all the way down to independent league. Mm-hmm. And as someone that knows cards at my level, I can tell you, you don't see those cards on eBay. The value of your collection is obviously, to you, there's no price for it. It's priceless.
I even go for Japanese cards, Korean cards, Chinese cards, any cards overseas.
Do you get autographs from overseas?
No, it's hard to get autographs overseas because, you got to pay that extra money to send your cards to the overseas addresses.
And I'm guessing there's a language gap, too.
Yeah, and there's a language gap where the guys don't speak English on Facebook.
Dude, I mean, 100,000 autograph cards. 100,000 of anything in this world is a huge number, but 100,000 autographs that you personally were a part of. This isn't through the mail. Maybe some of it was through the mail. I'm guessing a smaller percentage
Yeah,
is.
a smaller percentage through the mail.
How many people do you think you'll get autographed in this trip to the three different stadiums?
Probably, because I brought all my cards for the retired players that live in Vegas and Phoenix, Arizona, because I'll be going to those areas. So I'll probably walk away with a couple hundred autographed cards on this trip.
Wow, that's I mean, this is just the most inspiring story that I've ever heard in this period. Just to have over 2 million cards that are just random, stacked up, no organization, but to have it by player and have them all autographed. I got like 30 seconds left on this, Paul. I want to thank you for taking the time. I want to thank you for your passion towards the hobby. And this is a story that needs to be shared. If there's someone out there that's looking for this story for any kind of content, contact me. I can put them in contact with you. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
I am so stoked. Card Father.
And if there's any baseball teams out there...
Gotta cut it. I'm out.